We are here today with Daniel Pointer from PCNA. PCNA was one of our first strategic supplier partners for PromoEQP. They are a great partner to work with. They've been very good to our users, and we're really excited to have Daniel here. Daniel, thank you for being here, and we're excited to see what you got.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ian. As Ian said, my name is Dan Pointer. I sit on the marketing team at PCNA. I oversee our marketing strategy for a number of our partnerships, PromoEQP, of course, being one of those. Yeah, so excited to present a few things today. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. I have something prepared, but if anyone has any questions, feel free to interrupt at any time, and we can go from there. Let me share. I think we are good to go here. Okay, awesome. I am not as savvy on Google Meet, so someone stop me if you cannot see the slideshow, but it looks like we are good to go. So we recently had a launch. We have a few significant launches throughout the year. Right around January in PPAI season out in Vegas, we will release what is called our Trends launch. Typically, this right around beginning of the year, it's a look at a high level of what we see is trending in the marketplace throughout the year. Our product development team is incredibly talented. They do a litany of research to understand what's resonating from a retail standpoint and what is percolating here in promo from retail, and they showcase that in a really interesting and cool way. Then our next launch is early in the spring, which is our most recent launch here, and I'll be detailing that today. That is our spring-summer launch. And then at the end of summer, we have our holiday launch. So those are the few significant launches throughout the year. So always be keeping tabs of when those go live. With each of these launches, we have significant product launches. So with that, hundreds of new styles, new retail brand launches. So I'll detail all of that related to summer here today. And then, of course, we create a litany of assets in conjunction with the launch. So I'll showcase that as well through summer today. So just wanted to give some high-level background as we dive in. Whoops. Okay. And yes, as I mentioned, my name's Dan. I sit on the marketing team, work on our partnership strategy. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time. My email, I should have probably included that here. That is dpointer@pcna.com. And Ian, I can shoot that out afterwards if anyone needs that information. Alrighty, so starting off, wanted to start things off looking at our website. I always I attend a number of customer events through a few different channels, and always like to chat about our website at a high level. Our website has won a number of awards, most notably a few pyramid awards from PPAI, as you can see there with the little denotation. But as we look at the website, it is chock full of stuff. And often when I meet with customers, or partners, I should say, they don't really understand where all of this lives or what exactly all is within the website. So as I mentioned, I will walk you through that now. So this is a sort of look at our homepage with highlighting a few things on the homepage. So initially, when you drop into pcna.com, you'll see the upper left is dominated with our search bar. So of course, with search, you can quickly look for anything you need. From a product standpoint, you can immediately search by SKU, brand, product title, or you can search by the quantity you need, and then you can also filter by pricing range as well. But in addition to that, you can look for products in a number of different ways. So you can use the products drop-down arrow, and what that will do is that will open up all of these submenus, and the submenu for the products drop down lets you shop by new. Hey, what's new by category? What are the brands that we recently launched? What are turnkey assets? And then essentially you also can shop by itself. And shop by, if you click here, that will give you an even more varied look at how you can splice things up on our website. Because we have over 2,000 SKUs at any given time. So we do know that you can sometimes get lost in the sauce. So we try to make it as easy as possible to find what you need. So feel free to come in here, explore around, putt around. You will find some really exciting and cool products, which I'll detail here in a moment. But if you were to leave with a few things from this slide, what I want you to leave with, one, is this drop down over here, Distributor Toolkit. And Distributor Toolkit, you can think of it as a place where you can find anything you really need to know about PCNA outside of a product. What are our services? What is the latest deals we have? Are we running any sort of promotions in conjunction with our deals? What are the most recent marketing collateral and assets that Dan's team has sent out to the world? You can find all of that here. So when you click on Distributor Toolkit, you'll open up this drop-down menu. And really, I want to highlight the selling tools column. Here, there's a lot of phenomenal things, and I'll detail these more here in a second, but just want to make you aware of this section of our website. It is fantastic. One other area I'll point out is the account details section up here where it says, "Hi, Daniel," and I have the little icon of a person. If I click on that on live on the website, it would open up my account details and I can understand how I've been performing for the year, what benefits I've unlocked, these sorts of things. But I'll detail that further as well as we get deeper into the presentation. But then finally, for the presentation today, I want to call attention to this trends button in our top nav bar here as well. So trends, as I mentioned, that's the name of our 2026 launch in January. However, our subsequent launches throughout the year will all live in this hub dedicated to our trends of 2026. And all of our subsequent launches will also roll up into those same macro trends that we're seeing. So I'll detail this in a second, but this is where all of that lives. So I very much encourage you to explore this section of our website and see what we have to offer related to our major releases. So I'll show you that now as we click into it. So quick refresher, it lives right at the top of our homepage. You just click on this Trends Hub link and it will open up the Trends Hub. And what the Trends Hub is anything related to a major launch will live here. And so we have every single catalog associated with the launch, every single flyer, every single brand book, which if you're not familiar with brand book, I'll detail that in a second as well. And then what I don't have showing here on the slide is any sort of asset that we create, any photo, any lifestyle photo, any product shot that is included in our catalogs and flyers associated with the launch. We include links for you to download those completely free of charge. They're in-user facing. You can download these and plug them into your own email, social media feeds. So a awesome amount of resources that you can populate in your presentations and your feeds as well. So I highly, highly encourage you to visit the Trends Hub, as I've mentioned. But getting a little further into brand book and then, of course, the summer lookbook overall. So what's a brand book? A brand book is the ability to take any professionally shot, created, produced lookbook that we do. So these major releases throughout the year. But in addition to that, we'll have some minor catalog releases and flyers, of course, throughout the year. And what we can do is we can remove every single logo from the catalog. Typically, we'll have mock logos that we create to showcase the decoration methods throughout the lookbook and the products related within. But what Brand Book will do is it will use AI to intelligently remove that logo from the lookbook and replace it with any logo of your choosing. So here on the slide, we have an example of a Google lookbook. And you can see throughout the lookbook, it will showcase different variants of that same logo throughout the lookbook and different imprint methods. So for example, on our miniature hydro flask here, we have laser. On our speaker, we have the word mark, which is multicolor. We have vertically aligned laser here. We have single color on the fan. So it's a really powerful, excellent resource. If you were to leave this presentation with one little nugget today, Brand Book would be that for me. And so with Brand Book, there are a couple different ways that you can have these created. It is a completely free service. You can make as many of these as you would like. One, we can make them for you. So if you go to the Trends Hub, you'll see a link where it says PCNA Brand Book. And right here, you can click on this and you can fill out a request form and we will make these for you. You'll just you'll upload the logo of your choosing, you'll select which lookbook you would like, and then we'll turn it around to you in 24 to 48 hours. And what's really exciting about these brand books, I should mention, is you also can add some customizations. You can change what sort of pricing is shown. You can show first column pricing. You can show EQP pricing. You can show no pricing. And you also can do things like remove MOQ or show MOQ. So there are a few different additional customizations outside of the logo changing that you can upload to show it exactly how you'd like to your clients. Or if you are into the self-service thing, going back to the distributor toolkit, if you click on brand book, catalogs, and flyers, we now have a tool that would just launched last week where you can build these yourself. You can upload the logo, select your catalog, and then from there, our tool will generate it in under a few minutes. And from there, it will live in your hub, your brand book hub, which will live under that same link moving forward. And you will have both a PDF and a flipbook link that you can send to your client. And then moving forward, that lookbook will live there within your brand book hub now until perpetuity. So you can revisit it, send it out whenever you need moving forward. So excellent resource. Typically, when we show these off, folks get really excited. We've had a few awesome anecdotes come across regarding brand book. So, for example, we've had folks do a brand book, send it out to net new business, and it led to a multi-$1,000 order, net new client. Or we've had folks say, Dan, I sent them a brand book. Their budget was $20 for the bag, and suddenly it grew to $30 when they saw their logo on the bag in the lookbook. So excellent tool. Highly recommend it. It's a fantastic resource. Again, completely free. So absolutely check this out. Awesome. Let's keep it moving. Okay. With that, we also, as I mentioned, in that selling toolkit, selling tools column on the brand distributor toolkit, we have what is called our deals page. And on the deals page, we detail all of our current promotions. Most notably currently running is our Q2 all-in spec sample offer. And so what is a all-in spec sample offer? So what that it means is it's a true all-in price. And it's tiered at varying different price points. So you can see here on the flyers, we have 5, 10, 20, 30, and 50. And at these price points, so for example, I'll walk through the $5 example here. If I wanted to do a Lagom insulated 16-ounce stainless steel tumbler with straw, I get that product decorated and shipped for $5 with a spec logo of my choice. It is an excellent resource and tool. You can imagine mirroring something like this with the brand book. You could send your client a brand book with their logo and then follow it up with the $5 specs from the lookbook as well, and have this sophisticated go-to-market multiple touch approach that can really help you scale your partnership with your clients. So highly recommend you check this out as well. Again, this lives in the deals page, which is underneath the distributor toolkit in the selling tools column. And I should note, if the spec sample converts to an order, the setup fee is waived. So it's an awesome program. Okay. Also within the selling tools column, you'll see buying events. And what the buying events page details is a couple different things. One, it showcases our buying events, which I'll detail on the subsequent slide, but as well as it is where our industry and key market catalogs live. And what these are is PCNA is fortunate enough to have a litany of logos come across our desks every day. So we understand from a data-driven standpoint who is buying what across these industries. Therefore, we have the opportunity to create collateral and custom assortments to what is working in these spaces. And with that, we create these. And so for healthcare, for example, you could come into our ideas and industries section of our buying events page and look at the catalog and see exactly what is resonating in healthcare, and then immediately shop that assortment. And what's really exciting about this as well is these are also brand book compatible. So if you have a healthcare client, for example, you could have their logo populated throughout the entire catalog. It's completely in-user safe and friendly, and send this directly to them. And you have data-driven products at your client's fingertips that are proven to resonate in that industry. So another awesome selling tool resource to leverage moving forward with your clients. And then getting into buying events. So what are buying events? So essentially buying events, and they live on that same page, is, as someone who sits on the marketing team, it's easy to talk about. Essentially, this is us trying to publicize our marketing calendar for everyone. And essentially what we do here is we take buying events throughout the year where we've seen historical buying trending data around these. So for example, Nurses Week what I have on the slide here, automotive services professionals days. And again, that same sort of data driven approach, we align the products that resonate for these events and we create collateral alongside of it. So we have a flyer here, talks a little bit about the event so you can showcase to your client why this matters and why promo is a good fit for their business at this time. And then we intentionally leave this section up here blank and where you can easily download this from our website, drop in your own company's logo, and then shoot it right off to your client. And then as well, if you do want to change all of the logos here, these are also brand book compliant and you can compatible, I should say. And so all of these mock logos will be pulled and you could insert your client's logo in there as well. So it's fully customizable resource that you can use throughout the year whenever these buying events come up. We typically try to populate this page 90 days or so out from the upcoming events. So now that we're rolling into May, you'll start to see June, July items drop as I have those detailed here on subsequent slides. So for example, National Parks and Rec Month, same sort of concept. And then in addition, this year, especially, we have the 250th brochure and flyer. So we'll have a brochure and flyer, which will have the same functionality and differences or customizations as I've mentioned before. Little quirk with 250, we have a separate section or collection, I should say, of logos for 250, a little bit different than the official logo. So if you want to try something different than what's already out there, come check out what we have on PCNA.com. We have some awesome variants that you can leverage here. Okay, so getting back into the summer lookbook itself, and then going to dive into a few more products, and then we'll close with some exciting updates for you. So, getting back to our lookbook. So, with each lookbook and major release, we also like to highlight what's trending outside of just products data in general. So, we also call out what's trending from a color perspective. So, you can go back from the beginning of this year. The Cloud Dancer was the Pantone color of the year. Transformative Teal was the WGSN and Coloro color of the year as well. And then as we get into summer, these palettes as you see here, the electric, glowing, bright, calm, confident, versatile, fresh, energetic, playful, they're starting to come to the forefront and you'll see these resonate through the spring and summer lookbook. So lighter, more fun in the warmer summer months. But going back to the trends lookbook and now here in the summer lookbook, these are the 4 macro trends that we're seeing really permeate throughout promo, really from a beginning in retail and beyond. So those being experience enabled, strategic joy, smart value, and daily balance. And a little bit about these really quick. So experience enabled, essentially folks want to be on the go. They want to, outside of possessions, they want to have experiences. So in our industry, how can we address that? So we have some excellent products that tend to support folks being out and on the go and wanting to have experiences. So we'll get into that. Strategic joy. So this is really, it started last year with this sort of sparks of joy trend that we identified. These little micro elements that bring joy throughout the day. So we'll get into something related to that from a product perspective, which has been very well received so far. So excited to get into that. And then smart value. It's not just budget, but it's also if you are to extend beyond budget, we want to make sure you are maximizing your spend. So we will get into that. And then daily balance. This is really speaking to the overarching wellness trend that's emerged post-pandemic. This is going nowhere. So this is continuing to grow. So we'll detail some exciting additions to our product line regarding wellness items. Okay, so and with that, we have these micro trends that roll up into the macro trends. And so we have cool factor here in spring and summer, really tying together both experience enabled and daily balance. You see this represented in things like our retail brands, Hydro Flask, and then on social media, we have unboxing these summer essentials. And really what's driving all of this is this emphasis on outdoor recreation. We've reached nearly 60% of the population are currently active outside. And so we're developing products that address this. which I'll detail. So, getting into a few of those, of course, we've had a tremendous amount of success with our partnership with Stanley over the past several years. We've expanded our colorways across the lineup, most notably in the Pro Tour. So be sure to check these out. We now have items from Towel Specialties, excellent for this time of year, offering in your assortments and presentations. And then we also have this Reef 24-ounce vacuum, which has a similar to the Awala type look and feel. And then also related to being out and having fun in the sun, we have a few different offerings here. You'll see sunglasses really throughout the lookbook today. So here's an aviator set. We have a sunglasses case. And of course, we have our Bottle Bash outdoor game set, which is a lot of fun. You'll see games as well. That's an overarching permeating trend. Again, highlighting that strategic joy element within the macro trends. Okay, and then wrapping up cool factor, of course, fans keeping you cool. I will call out specifically this 71228-38, the Pocket Chill cooling fan with the 2000 mAh power bank. This was our show sample for employees at the Vegas show this year. It is fantastic. I have one. I had it on my desk. I don't quite know where it is right now, but excellent fan, keeps you cool, and it's also a power bank to boot. Fantastic offering. Definitely check that out. And then anyone you have any blue collar opportunities, truck drivers, that sort of thing, this wireless neck fan has been extremely popular upon launching last year. But a wide variety of fans available. So feel free to visit our website and check everything out we have. Okay, then getting into an extension of being out and about is sports and recreation. We've seen a massive explosion on social media and in just regular everyday life of things like pickleball, golf, etc. You'll see 73% of Gen Z prefers brands that feel fun and engaging. That's why these activity-based brands are exploding, and participation in these recreational sports continues to climb. And so, of course, we have products that support this. With that, we've had some exciting launches and partnerships in the golf space as of late. We recently signed FootJoy. We recently signed Titleist, which I'll detail here in a second. But we also recently signed Fitbit. So feel free to check out what we have from a Fitbit perspective. These are fantastic fitness trackers. And then one of my personal favorite items in the entire presentation today is this hat strap golf ball marker from Snaps. For $9.98, laser decoration. It is fantastic. This clip, what it does is it clips on the back of your golf hat. And then from here is your ball marker, and it's magnetic. You just pull it out, drop it down on the green, as you can see him doing here as you mark your ball. Really awesome. You would think this may be a little bulky. You would feel it on the back of your head. You really forget it's there. It's fantastic. Excellent item for the price point. Great value. Okay, a little few more items in the golf space. As I mentioned, you'll see sunglasses throughout the presentation. This magnetic speaker, we launched this when we properly launched into the golf category early last year. It's been a tremendous success for us. As you can see, it's magnetic. It's great for sticking it on the golf cart as you're playing around. And then we don't just have apparel with FootJoy. You can see here we have their shoe bag. This is an excellent option as well for a premium executive gifting, that sort of thing. Okay. I mentioned earlier, we have got a partnership now with Titleist. We have all of their styles from a golf ball perspective, most notably, of course, their Pro V1 and Pro V1X. But it doesn't stop there. We also have Strixon and Bridgestone. So definitely think of us when you think of your golf needs. I will say for Strixon and Bridgestone in particular, we can do 24-hour full color ship on these, which is a very competitive positioning within the market. So if you ever have any last minute rush golf opportunities, certainly think of us and come to us. We can certainly help you out in that situation. Okay, so getting into apparel, really rolling up to that daily balance macro trend. So Wellable is our own inline health and wellness brand that PCNA launched last year, and it was one of our fastest growing brands upon launch. And what we do here is we mimic these overarching trends that we're seeing in the retail space. We're inspired by brands like a Lululemon, Viore, etc., and offer the same quality type offerings at a much, much more affordable price. I will particularly call out the Wellable Knit hoodie. I recently got one of these as a sample. It is fantastic. I actually have mine in the wash today. I would have been wearing it. Excellent. I just recently moved to Colorado. It is incredibly functional, being able to be out when it's sunny, not feeling the sun on me, but still feeling nice and cool. And this fabric throughout the apparel on the in the Wellable line is very similar to that dream knit style fabric that you'll see from a Viore Lulu, as I mentioned. So, absolutely recommend getting a sample of something from Wellable. It's one of those, as soon as your client touches and feels it, they'll be very much excited. So, check it out. Okay, and then as I mentioned, health and wellness continues to permeate everything. We now have fitness trackers, and then that all rolls up to being on the go. Some retail brands we partner with here are Bellroy, and then we have some inline items that are inspired by someone like a Calpac. As I mentioned, 73% of consumers use multiple channels in store or online throughout the day, reflecting more fluid on the go lifestyle. So that everything that we roll up here supports what we have as folks are on the go more consistently. So some inline and some retail brand partners. My personal backpack, again, have a few items that I'm personally fond of here in the presentation today. One of those is the Thule Lumion 28 recycled 17-inch computer backpack. Excellent, excellent bag. Thule, fantastic mission-oriented brand. If you're not familiar with them, definitely come on our website and check them out. They're phenomenal. And then you'll see a few other items here. High Sierra continues to expand their offerings. I'll give you a little preview later this year. We'll have even more styles from them, so stay tuned. But here you can see the Courier Duffel, and this is a very popular style. Next time you're in the airport, look around. You'll see this sort of bag everywhere. Okay, and then with that, as I mentioned, some retail brands, Herschel, our 24-liter computer backpack, and then we have a monstrosity amount of power banks, any sort of form factor, any sort of capacity, we have it. So definitely come check us out on that front. And then Bellroy, as I mentioned, one of my another personal favorite retail brand partner, bespoke bag brand out of Australia. They recently had their tech kit, which you can see in this lifestyle shot nestled in the tote bag. That was just accepted into Apple retail stores. Excuse me. So it's really started to grow the retail cachet of the Bellroy brand. So certainly throw this into some presentations. It's a premium offering brand, but they're fantastic. Okay, and then just a little more data around being outside. As I mentioned, participation has grown steadily. We're at over 700 billion industry in the outdoor economy. I think I saw a report this week that the experience economy is going to surpass $1 trillion this year. So again, everything throughout our lookbook rolls up that overarching macro camping offerings as well. You can see the lantern here, the cooler. So yeah, so some great offerings regarding food. With the Labubu craze last year, if you're familiar. Labubu are it sort of looks like these charms down here where these little dolls are still out there. And it's led to this explosion of little trend culture. So, for example, these little book bags or books that connect to your bag, for example. And so we've now seen that brought here into the promo space. And these things, believe it or not, are exploding off of our shelves. This little miniature lawn shop tote bag, you actually can store small things in it, like a hand sanitizer, etc. These mini backpack charms. You'll even see retail brands mimicking this trend as well. So you may, crack a rye small as you look at these items, but I highly recommend throwing them in presentations. The younger generations are loving these sorts of things. And then, without a doubt, also in the miniature trend, without a doubt, the most popular and had the largest crowd in our Vegas booth this year, believe it or not, was the miniature Hydro Flask bottle. At 6.7 ounces, this thing is tiny, but it is one of those items that elicits a visceral response. Folks see this thing and they love it. So very excited. Highly recommend checking it out. It is an excellent, excellent item. Something great to use. And then a few other miniature items here as well. So definitely check this out, all within our summer lookbook. Wrapping up here, a few more products, umbrellas as well. And just want to mention, we do have budget items as well. A lot of folks tend to think of us for the retail brands, but we have 480 items under 5, and then scaling all the way up to 15, we have over 1,000 items if you roll it all together. And then I do want to mention we'll be launching a special campaign this week, giving folks the ability to win more benefits with us with qualifying orders. So stay tuned. I'll have some follow-up emails going out showcasing this campaign and walking you through how to get more from us. But yeah, that is everything I have prepared for today. Thanks for the time. Really appreciate it.
Awesome, Daniel. Thank you a ton for being here. I really think
Of course.
you can't thank you enough for taking the time out of this. I don't know. If anybody has any questions or anything about what's going on. Doesn't look like it, but we'll give everybody a second if anybody has any.
You know me, and I always have questions
Yes.
because I talk to the distributors all day long. I know you have so many retail brands. Are they, and you have restrictions from some of those retail brands on pricing, but are they included in the in the EQP pricing, or are there certain brands that are not, that are excluded?
Yeah,
And
so
do you
no,
have a list?
they're all included in the EQP pricing. To the best of my knowledge, I'll confirm that 100% and shoot you a follow-up, Cheryl. I know some of them are on an E, but we offer EQP. It just may be on an E, but yes, as far as the in quantity pricing, they're 100% aligned with that.
Right.
Okay, one last one with the brand books. I feel like it was so long ago because you had so much great information. But with the brand books, when a distributor creates them, and they have pricing in them, will the pricing automatically update within them if they're created virtually?
No, so they would have to create a new brand book if pricing were to change. Now, this state, don't want to overpromise, but we don't anticipate any price changes at this stage for rest of year at least. So we'll make sure to update. But that's great feedback. I'll take that back and see if that's something we could work moving forward. But yeah, no, the brand books are a phenomenal resource. If you have any further questions on those, happy to set up a call and walk you through that whole process.
Thanks.
All
It's a
right.
great presentation.
Awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. If that's all we've got, then Daniel, thank you again for your time, and thanks to PCNA for being a part of our group.
Of course, of course. Feel free to reach out anytime, anyone. Don't be shy. If there's anything I can do for you, happy to help. But thanks, Ian. Really appreciate it.
Excellent.